I don't know. I need feedback. I'm not getting enough of it, but we'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna do 9 lives, black white nonsense again because the like monthly thing reset, and I am. What did I change? I didn't change anything. What? I might have clicked something. I am like as bronze as it gets, and I think it would be hilarious to see how fast I can like climb extremely fast with 9 lives. This it's actually a really really good deck in best of one, and as we've seen, it's not terrible in best of three, especially if you splash blue for like a little bit of disruption, so your opponent can't just immediately destroy your soul with like a single naturalize effect, and you just kind of lose. But you do have hedges against it. I'd even say the same bad matchups from best of three are kind of the same in best of one, which is mill, control, and then literally everything else you should be favored. There is that colorless deck with like Ujin and Ulamog, Karn getting stuff out of the sideboard that is a little bit more difficult to beat, but otherwise I think it's a pretty solid deck. I win like 3 out of 4 games. You know, it's like 75% win rate, so it seems. Best of one ranked is pretty similar to non-ranked best of one in terms of decks you bump into. Blue Black Rogues is probably a little bit more popular, unfortunately, in ranked best of one. But either way, I'm gonna play this. Oh yeah, like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Tutu. Yeah, if you're watching it on Tutu. Alright. I guess we're going to hop right out of bronze, though, because when you lose, you don't lose in your rank. And we're at the end of bronze already. I haven't played ranked probably since the last time I streamed it, actually. Let's do this. Alright. Not what we wanted to see at all. Hopefully all I have to do is name Teferi to win this game. They do have Cleansing Nova, but we have ways to not just immediately lose to that, so let's see what happens. Shark Typhoon's no problem. Always want to play these flip lands last. This is really not what I wanted to bump into first. Alright, they can cycle for 0, and if they drew like a... whatchamacallit, we're screwed. Negate or something. Alright, so I guess I'm taking Binding. The combo's not super relevant. I just want to stop Teferi. Don't care about Narset. And this Cleansing Nova's really just... that really wish that was a Wrath of God or something, because it blows up enchantments, and that means I can't cast this or I lose. Okay, so with this I can name Teferi. Getting Necromentia. I can't imagine anything else matters. And I have to do it before they're able to cast Teferi. They'll probably make a 1/1 shark. I think I would. If I knew what I was up against, I'd make a shark. Okay, I kind of have to go for Necromentia. There's a chance it just resolves, as our opponent might think we named something incorrect. But I think it's pretty straightforward. You just name Teferi. If this gets countered, I think I lose. Well, they're thinking about it, so probably have a counterspell. Yep. Surprised to see that. I guess they do in fact have Teferi in their deck. Hopefully they just play it this turn, don't have a third Dovin's Veto, and I can Ixalan's Binding it. But I'd have to draw Thoughtseize in the same turn cycle, otherwise Cleansing Nova just blows it up. Okay, no Teferi. I think with this I will name Teferi. I could name Cleansing Nova. And then the only way for them to cast it is to, like, minus... Okay. Nothing matters. Literally nothing matters. Okay. Looks like they're just countering anything I play. I could have waited for an opportunity like this to get a spell through, but I mean, apparently they they have nothing but counter spells. Rest in Peace doesn't look great, but honestly, nothing does. I guess I can get the other half of the combo. It's not really doing anything. Might as well, though. I don't think Ruined Halo's doing anything. And I don't think Rest in Peace matters. If they have Torrential Gear Hulk, you know, okay. Oh, looky. Alright. So now I pretty much have to draw a discard spell. They shock themselves? I'm not even going to bother. We lose. Weird in. They untap 2. They probably have a counterspell. Even if they don't, I think we're just incredibly far behind. We lost 2 of our silver bullets. I only have 1 copy of each of those cards that they countered. So this is just no way. There's no way. No, wait. Correction. I had another Necromentia. The other silver bullet was Ixalan's Binding. That was in the hand, but obviously, as we saw, it was probably not going to resolve. Fortunately, we're in bronze, so we can just scoop and there's no punishment. It's a lot different than when I used to grind for, like, top 50 Mythic. But that was standard, though, and there was only, like, 2 decks. It was either you played, like, a control deck, or you just played the mono-white deck. Or the mono-red deck. There was a mono-red deck at the time. Ooh, this is good. This is good. If this hand had 1 more land, it would be, like, insane. Alright, nothing draws cards except this, right? This search your library. Yeah, let's get rid of that. I guess I'll play the other one out. Get this. It really doesn't matter. In fact, that was probably wrong, because they can't put counters on this when I play Solemnity. Honestly, the discard spells just didn't do anything, really. I either draw a land and don't lose the Skyclave Apparition when I play the combo, or I do. Alright, they have a bunch of food. Alright, they have nothing. Alright, they immediately drew Heliod after I cast a discard spell. Okie dokie. Just need a land. Wouldn't it? Isn't it kind of the same as just cracking the food? Because you gain more life that way, cracking the food. I think. Oh, come on. Hey, just in time. And it was an untapped source, which there's not a ton of in my deck. So now we have to avoid Skyclave Apparition. We do have a second Solemnity, but they'd have to, like, yeah, runner, Skyclave. Because I can go Solemnity. Okay. Next turn we get to see what's going on here. We get to see the entire deck and know what to worry about for the next 20,000 years. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah. Prosperous Innkeeper. They're definitely doing a lot of game actions. Like, a lot. A lot of Heliod triggers. That's funny. Alright, let's see if they have Skyclave Apparition. I'm not going to name Banishing Light. I'm just going to name Skyclave. That's not how you spell Okay, they don't. Do they have anything that's... Nope, I guess they don't. For some reason, people scoop when you cast Necromentia. There's something about you seeing some... Like, picking up somebody's deck and looking at it just makes people not want to play the game. Like, they could win next turn. Like, I've cast Necromentia in the face of losing, and somebody scooped. I didn't record that game, but it was really weird. Like, I was going to lose the game, so I just looked at their library to see what was going on. You know, I want to take a look at the deck before I scoop. And they just scooped. They were just done. It was so weird. I wasn't dead on board, but I was dead to something in their hand. Maybe they didn't realize? Either way, I mean, I just did not have the combo and I was about to die. It was some weird, like, teamer combo thing. Alright, we have 2 discard spells, so I'll lead with one on turn 1. Neoform, or is it Elementals? Probably just Elementals, so I'll take the one that draws 1,000 cards. They can still get another one with Neoforming one of the 2-drops. I might even take Neoform. Not super scared of just dying to damage, but we'll see. Yeah, we're going to take Neoform. What is this? Does it have haste? It does not. They'll probably lead with it, unless they expect to top deck. No, this might just be Teamer. It might not have white for the other Omnath. It might just be the Teamer Omnath. Oh, not this again. Oh, no. I keep getting in this situation. Just have, like, the turn 4 combo, but I just don't have the land. I guess this is what I deserve, though. Hey! Alright. We dead if we play... No, we're not dead. Alright. Let's do this. I don't think they're going to put another, 7 counters on it. They have 2 attack ones, and they somehow have to get more. Okay, so far it's Teamer. That doesn't do anything. Hey! Oh, yeah, it was Teamer. They didn't have any white in their deck. I don't think the white in Elementals would have answered it regardless, but again, it just Skyclave Apparition is the problem, right? I'm bummed we lost the control deck. It was pretty... If they had that many counterspells, they probably had... Ah, no, it really just was that Cleansing Nova, wasn't it? Yeah, it was just the Cleansing Nova. Enigma 8. Alright, so we have one piece of it. We can bank on Rude Halo being relevant, and the Inquisition being decent enough, so I guess I'll keep it. Not going to lead with it. I'm not really scared of a lot of 1-minute plays in Historic, other than, I guess, discard spells, but even still, I like to wait a turn. Cathartic Reunion and some Madness cards. Okay. I can dig it. They have Madness cards. Is it mono red Madness or is it black red Madness? Is there enough red cards in Historic to do mono red madness? I've never seen this. That's kind of cool. Alright, so we found the combo. If they are mono red, I can just straight up go for it. I don't really... I can't see myself dying. The cursed best of one? Yeah, I know, it's pretty bad. I'll probably do best of 3 next time, but right now I just want to do best of 1. Best of 1's a good way to just climb super, super, super fast. But I guess if it depends. It depends. Like if you're interested in climbing, you have to have a real reason to do it, right? Okay, I didn't draw land, so I'm not going to Thoughtseize. I might... Yeah, let's just do this to get Solemnity. Yeah. This is cool, though. I like this. This is cool. Lava Axe, Lightning Axe, Cathartic Reunion, Insolent Neonate, Faithless Looting, I imagine. Beaumont Courier is another one. That's pretty cool. It's a good way to see a Johnny's Pride mate. Suppose it is. I rearranged my room kind of, so hopefully there's better lighting for the small orange square in the top right. It's a lot of work for a little square, but so be it. Hollowed One. Flameblade Adept. Blazing Root Walla. Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. Alright, so there's probably no way they can stop this. Unless for some reason they're running Stomp. I can't imagine they're running Stomp. So we just sort of win. Alright, we're silver. Just walk straight to gold. I wonder how prominent that Madness deck is. Like, will I see that now? Just like all over the place? Did someone like start streaming that? Some popular streamer or something? Hey, turn 4 combo. I might as well keep this if they are a graveyard thing, right? Because there's not much else I'm looking for at this point other than maybe Necromentia. Yeah, I guess I have an Idyllic Tutor. If I ever need it, I can find it. I think that's fine. Oh no, is this discard? Just play Knight of the Ebon Legion. Hey, they played Knight of the Ebon Legion. My man. Just what we wanted to see. Do we need another land? Nope. Alright, just don't play a discard spell. Solemnity stops this from getting... Oh, they played a discard spell. Dude. Well, whichever one they take, I can replace. Okay, they took 9 lives. I'm going to play Solemnity. No, wait. I think I'm going to try to get a second 9 lives into play as fast as possible. I might as well do it now. In the face of another potential discard spell, which they do not have. Okay. Because this way, the faster I get this into play, the fact that I do a second Solemnity means I don't really have to worry about a discard spell at this point. And they didn't have one last turn, and they can't draw 2 cards a turn. Rankle. That doesn't do anything. Alright, I'm going to blow up the board instead. Because why not? Opponent doesn't want to play Magic anymore. Cool, they have no answer to it. There is Feed the Something, the 2-mana black spell that destroys enchantments. I guess they just didn't have it. Gray Merchant is another way to get around that, but I think that's the first thing I name when I bump into a Necromentia. And unless they're going to one-shot me with one, they can't just like play one out as a tempo thing because it's not going to kill me. As I cannot take damage anymore. Alright. We're 1-4. Or 4-1, whatever. Turn... Doesn't matter unless I draw land. Is this the same person? This is the same person. Wow. Okay. Interesting. I didn't even know you could bump into the same person like that. Pretty sure the last person's name was Hero, and they were playing mono black. Okay. I guess I'll just name that, right? I could name like Thoughtseize, but I think just buying an immeasurable amount of time is Skyclave Shade, yes. Just better. Dread Wanderer, sure. Alright, so I can almost do something here. I'm going to get Solemnity because there's 4 of them in the deck. I'd rather not them cast another discard spell and then I only have 2 left. I'd want just 3 and 3 in my deck. It's of some degree. Spawn of Mayhem, yikes. Alright, so 4, 5, 6, 7 a turn. Have to cast one of these. No, I can cast this to get it as well without taking damage. I think we're in the same boat as last game, where we just gun it for 9 lives into play and evade a counter spell, a discard spell. Yeah, I guess that was a good name. Take your dead removal spell. Play this as a black. Play this. Two in a row. That's funny. Played against the same person twice in a row and I beat him. Well, if that was best of 3, I guess technically they would like side out the removal spells for duress. You know, maybe that card could have been duress, and it might have been duress, and we could have lost there. So there's that. It would have been a game 3, but you know. That's mad funny. OP Sing or Op Sing? I don't know. Alright, 1 piece of it, double discard, probably in ample enough. Yeah, I'd say we have time. With the lands I have in hand, I think it's safe to play this turn 1. Well, I only have 1 choice here. What else is going on here? A bunch of dragons. So black-red dragons. That's kind of cool. I guess I'll cast another Thoughtseize. Can't say I care. Some treasure tokens. I think I'm gonna take... this? Because if they don't draw lands, that won't give them the treasure for their 5th mana source. Because they need 5 mana to really, like, start doing... Yeah, okay. They didn't even draw land. Yeah. That was a... Can't say I've seen that deck before. I guess this is what happens when you have an MMR of, like, -5. Because you just don't play ranked. Okay. I'll take it. Anastasis. Oh, God. Oh, this would be so much better in the play. Ugh. be so much better on the play. Oh well. I'm going to keep it. Definitely going to take Kroxa. We have the Rest in Peace, so this won't ever kill me. Nor will Kroxa. I don't really care about Kolaghan's command. I don't think. I wonder if they just scoop to Rest in Peace. I'm going to play it now before they have a discard spell. They did! They scooped to Rest in Peace. They scooped to Rest in Peace, dude. Oh. Oh. What have I done? They scooped the Rest in Peace. Yeah, I didn't even need the combo. Easy. Play Rest in Peace, had no answer. They didn't even know if I could deal with Liliana. Liliana could have still killed me, right? I don't know. Okay, I'll keep this. Okay, it's mono white, so we have a pretty good matchup against this one. This one does have Skyclave Apparition in it. This hand is really bad, so that's good. Interesting keep. Our hand was, if we just had one more land, it would be really good, but we don't. But I think it's still good enough. At least in the dark, I think it's good enough. If I knew what I was up against, maybe not. Alright, now the hand just got way, way worse. Thalia stops things. It does that Thalia stop your own spells? It does. It does stop your own spells. They cannot Collected Company. Here I think I'm just going to tutor for Solemnity instead of playing 9 lives. Wait, does it not? Non-creatures cost 1 more. They have 4. What? What? What on earth was the game holding up for them? I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know. They were holding priority last turn with 4 mana, but they couldn't cast this. I have no idea. Alright, the fact that they did this in response means it's less likely they have Skyclave. Because they could have Skyclaved this if they were like paying more attention. I mean, if they were paying attention, this is hexproof and you can't Skyclave it. But I've noticed a lot of people don't realize that. They'll just play a Skyclave that doesn't do anything. And the fact that they did that makes me think they might not realize. Book of Exalted Deeds. Oh my god. Did I just lose the game? No, I think we're still good. I think we're still good. I'll get a Necromentia? Yeah. Exile it, put an light counter on Angel. Yeah, okay. So now if they try to do this, they lose on accident. Solemnity stops the counter from being applied. They can't put it on the Valkyrie. It also doesn't really matter. The fact that they're still in the game makes me think they have an answer to Solemnity. Let's see if we can stop that. Oh, they did. Oh. Feels good. Alright. We literally took Skyclave. They had 4 Skyclave. Yeah, Solemnity stops the book. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I thought I lost because they could put the counter on anything, but apparently you can't do that. It has to be an angel. Alright, what does this do? Whenever one opponent uses attacks, pay 1 damage. Okay, that doesn't matter. Well, we saw their whole deck. It's just stock list. Whatever. Green-white company, or just mono-white company. So they can't stop this at all. We'll win to decking, so I guess I'll just tutor for Approach the Second Sun. What's in their hand here? Restoration Angel? Okay, does that do anything? Nope. Alright, we can just get Approach the Second Sun. And then Sit Pretty. So, Restoration Angel was the card in their hand that was castable all those turns ago with Thalia on 4. What else does this do? Gain 3 or more life, get a 5/5? 3/3? Why are these 5/5? Oh, because of Valkyrie. Okay. Resplendent Angel. Opponent's still in this game. Unless there's something I didn't realize, I don't think they can win the game. I'm gonna force out the resto in... I guess I'll pay 1. And then I'll just Wrath of God. They blinked a token. Shouldn't they have blinked this? Because then they'd gain like 5. It doesn't matter, but it's... decent habit, right? Decent habit to do the right thing. Okay, I don't know why they scooped there. People scoop at very odd times. Like, if you can't win at all, I don't know... Are you trying to complete a quest by, like, playing spells or attacking the creatures or something? Maybe. And it's just a quick way to... It's a quick way to do that when you're playing against 9 lives. And you can just keep swinging to complete your quest, but... I don't know. You're playing ranked, so it's... Quest completion isn't necessarily on people's mind. Who knows? Maybe they just want to see how much life they could gain before the game was over. I didn't even need Approach the Second Sun in that situation because they would deck out before me, which is a reason maybe to free up a sideboard slot. I don't know how min-maxy you really have to be, but maybe there's something to think about there. Approach the Second Sun not being relevant. Alright, Elves. Haha. Did they play a Mana Dork? They did. So do I want to take Double Lord this turn? I think I do. Oh, no, this... Oh, shoot. I thought this was a flip land. That's my bad. Alright, I can't take Double Lord. Maybe taking 1 wasn't good enough in that case. Because they're just going to cast 1 anyways? Yeah. That was probably incorrect. Oh, I did have the flip land. Oh, man. That's bad. That's bad. I'm not paying attention. Fortunately, I don't think it matters. Do they have enough mana to activate this next turn? I think they do. Okay, they absolutely do. Am I dead? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. Alright. Because Craterhoof off the top would be 7, because they have to tap this to cast it, so... yep. There's no way they can stop this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can't cast any haste threat that would stop this. Maybe if that was a turn earlier, they got a sec... No. They'd still have to get another elf. Keep that. And win the game. Hey. Alright. We are literally walking up to gold. I'm very curious how far this deck could go in ranked best of 1. Kind of feel like I'm playing Hearthstone. I mean, I'll take it. I legit think 9 lives is the excuse me, is the best deck in best of 1. And I never see it. I never see anyone playing 9 lives. I think it's the best deck. And I have a bit of a mirror breaker list so I don't just lose to the mirror. Alright, so we can kind of stop this because of Solemnity before we get the 9 life side. These are both kind of the same. One of them has a little bit more of a haste thing attached to it. Whenever opponent casts their first non-creature, draw a card. I guess I'll just take the 1-drop. I think we can get... Oh, never mind. I guess I'm not going to do that. Unless it plays X for X is her power. Okay. So I can Thoughtseize and pay 1. Take... I want to take Tempered Steel. I think I'm going to take Tempered Steel. Yeah. Because I do have Solemnity. This will draw them some cards here, because I'm going to do something next turn. It costs 3 mana. Oh, I guess I don't have to anymore, right? I can... Well, no, because them drawing a card is... I don't know, is that better than them just putting counters on things with Steel Overseer, right? It gets them closer closer to a land, too, for another artifact creature that you would really want Solemnity in play for. I can play this as a... Wait. Yeah, I'm going to run this out. You can draw a card. This card's really good. Wow. I don't think I bumped into this one yet. It almost looks like Mirroring Crusader, actually. Mirroring Crusader, if you got, like, infected with some baller Phyrexian, not just Elish Norn. Oh, or, you know, alternatively, we can literally just draw 9 lives and win the game. Don't you dare Skyclave me. Not in an artifact deck. Please. Oh no, opponent's upset. Oh, alright, so we've lost, what, 1 game so far, and it was the very first one? Okay, I mean, shoot. Oh, that's funny. Hey, I mean, if your deck is a one-trick pony, that's on you. You know, you play a creature-based deck, and the only way to win is damage. I don't know what to tell you. I have... This is a win condition. What else do I have? I guess I have Approach the Second Sun. I have a Dawn of Hope, so I could win that either. Was that the same person? Was that the same person? I think it was the same person. I don't know. It was probably the same person. They didn't even want to play. Oh man. This is bad. GG easy though. Yeah. Easy clap. Easy clap. Dr. Idiot. Okay. Alright, Doctor. We'll see who the fool is by the end of this game. That's an epic portrait there. Opponent said nice when I said hello. I don't know what that means. Clerics? Clerics? Clerics. Hey. Alright. Cast a spell, chose a name, and it was 3 levels. Alright, don't care. Just take Vanishing Verse because it deals with Solemnity. This is actually kind of a difficult matchup. I've played against Clerics before because they do run Skyclave. They named Fatal Push? Ooh, opponent, you've got me on the wrong deck, buddy. You got me on the wrong deck. Why are they naming Human and not Cleric? They're naming Human and not Cleric. Should I look into that further? I don't know. I'm casting this. Fatal Push. That's really funny. Okay, well, hey, you know, they don't want to play Magic. I don't blame them. Lost of Solemnity. Alright, I guess we're done with Silver in a second. I have not lost a single game. other than the first one. Yep, I do think this is the best deck in Historic. And I don't see anyone playing it. I think there's a way to get this to work in best of 3, because the sideboard is really where you get devastated. And you should expect a little bit heavier on the control matchups, or bumping into the control matchups, just because it's just so... It's so much better to play control when you have a sideboard. Otherwise, you just have totally dead cards in your deck every single game, right? Like, control doesn't have a universal list where it's always good. You could have like sweepers that are just totally dead, just don't do anything. All right, please don't be the black-red one. Ugh, it's a black-red one. All right, well, I'm leading with this. Oh, look, it's a Croxa again. So I gotta probably take the Dreadhorde. I don't care if they cast Croxa, obviously. It just goes to the graveyard. Discard a land. I just have to find... I have to find Rest in Peace on top of what my original game plan was. Alright, it just got a lot harder. There's an argument for not taking Runed Halo, though. Right? They might not take it. I can't cast it next turn because I played a Black Source turn 1. No, they still took Runed Halo. Okay. I can see an argument for both cards. I'll take the thing that gets back the Dreadhorde. Play a tap land. Pass. Discard Plains to Croxa. Unless they just pick up Luris. Which they might just do that instead. No, they don't. Alright, get rid of this Plains. They're actually pretty close to recasting that. I have no way to stop that. So do I just go for Rest in Peace? Probably, right? I literally can't bank on the 9 lives thing working when they have a graveyard that kills me. Alright, so they probably don't have a way to discard. They probably didn't draw that because they would have snapped it off. Pick up Luris, please. Hey, alright, good. So this will stay as a 1/1. Luris will hopefully die to this Wrath of God. Yep. Okay. Okay. Definitely snapping this off. Okay. This is very good. Very good so far. Okay. Does that have fire breathing? It doesn't. Shoot. That may be a problem. I can get protection from this, but then the goblins still kill me. So I guess I'll... I mean, I have to try, right? Like, I have to try to do this. I don't think I have time. I don't think I have time. Oh, no. Just fire it up again? Okay, good, 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 good. Take 5. Okay. Land. Alright. Oh, don't be Croxa. Please don't be a Croxa. I need these. Okay, whew. Alright. Huh. Okay, alright, 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 okay, alright. Land doesn't do it. Land doesn't do it. Get rid of that. So we can still lose to Croxa, unfortunately, because it'll make us discard when we have no cards in hand. Unless I draw something that's a non-land right now. Oh, I didn't. Ugh. That's... Oh, that would be such a sucky way to lose, but it is what it is. I'm not going to play the land. Please don't have Croxa. Oh my god, please. I haven't come this far to lose the Croxa. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, dude. No. Oh, it's not even a scry land. Okay. Alright. What does this do? Does that make you lose life? No, it's just a... Okay. Yep, make your goblins. That's adorable. Pass the turn. Okay. Alright. This is better. Now we don't die to Croxa. We can discard this. They obviously can't get Croxa's back. Oh, just in the nick of time. They should have... They have Thought Seizes, right? They should have waited to find a Thought Seize or something. Obviously, if I cast this, I die. At least 3 life. They should have waited till they had like a Thought Seize to do that. Awful lot of lands. Awful lot of lands. This is probably irrelevant. It is a non-land for a Croxa, but I think they don't have one. They can't draw 2. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Okay, alright. There we go. Got it. So now we can name Croxa. What else does our opponent have to win the game? K command doesn't do it. 6 damage. Let's just triple check. Okay. They can't win now. Oh, that was close. That was close. This can't do anything busted, right? It just makes me exile? Exile card? Yeah, okay. Unless I misclick, I think we win. They have no way to make me lose life, and they have no way to answer Solemnity. Looks like they want to play it out still. More power to them. Okay, we finally found a scry land. That picks up the pace a bit. Can start scrying for Mastermind's acquisition for Approach the Second Sun. Now, if they hit Approach the Second Sun with Thoughtseize, that would be kind of depressing. Maybe there's a reason to just play Dawn of Hope. 6, 7. No, okay, they can't. They can't. I can cast it right now. That's good. I had 11 mana. We're good. Dawn of Hope would have... Okay, I don't know why that makes them scoop. People scoop at the most random time. Maybe they just wanted to see my win condition. But for all they know, and for all it matters, my win condition is you drawing cards and running out of cards before me, which you were going to. So it's very strange. But hey, we'll take it, right? We'll take it. I like those manlands. I always forget the mono-colored manlands. I never realize they're in play. Alright, so we've only lost 1 game so far. Let's see if we can keep it going. Alright, that's unfortunate. Rest in Peace does stop it, though, so I don't have to worry about it too much. I really think I'm going to do a turn 1 discard. Maybe I can hit Witch's Cauldron, please? No. Alright, this. This targets, I can name it with Runed Halo, so I'm not concerned. And another benefit is I get to double discard these here, because they're not... Ooh. This actually kills me. So I guess I'll take that. That actually kills me. Can't stop that. Unless they can't kill their own creatures enough, but I think it's safe to assume they can. I think we're past the discard spamming. Yeah, this, whenever a creature of theirs dies, I lose a life. And there's no way to stop that when it's in play, other than Binding of Ixalan. If I can just avoid it as long as possible, I will. Alright, we drew a second 9 lives, so I don't feel as obligated to play around a discard spell this turn, and it would like to name Blood Artist as soon as possible. It also lets me cast this in the same turn. So, wow, they drew another Bastion! Okay. Blood Artist. It's safe to assume they also have a way to create food. Like, Cauldron Familiar in this style of deck is obviously really good. Alright, I'm going to run one out now. I could have waited. There was probably an argument to wait, because I'm not doing anything and our opponent isn't necessarily doing anything either. Now I just put myself on a shorter clock for really no reason. Probably a mistake there. Do I play Gideon's Intervention, and if I do, what do I name? I'll just name Cruel Celebrant, because it's another avenue to victory for the opponent, and it also stops it from poking me every turn. So they found the second black source to cast the Fiend Artisan. Interesting card. Alright, I guess I'll just do this. Solemnity, there it is. Alright, so now we just have to not lose to something like this. Now, if they keep this in play and sacrifice other things, if they have enough creatures, they can kill me. That does mean they have to have 14 creatures in their deck. I do not have a Rest in Peace yet. Vesper Lark. Return target creature power 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, that's not relevant. Good to know. I gotta answer this Cruel Celebrant. Davriel, what do you do? You can't sacrifice attack a creature until an opponent attacks you. Accept one of Davriel's offers, then accept one of Davriel's conditions. I have absolutely no idea what that means. I don't know what that means. That is what our opponent did, so I guess we'll find out in a second. I've never seen this card before. Davriel has Planeswalker. Davriel Planeswalkers you control a +2 draw card. Creatures you control get -1 to attack. Okay. Okay, sure. That's different. So Davriel draws cards now? Can they do that again if they want it? I'm not able to see the new abilities. Could they... What happens if they do it again and they just like keep spamming that? Choose one of 3 random offers and then one of 3 random conditions. What? Okay. Target player. Oh, so this just pings... You have to ping yourself with Blood Artist. It doesn't really matter. Not gaining 1 or gaining 1 and losing 1 is the same, right? So it looks like they're going to try their best to kill me with this one of Cruel Celebrant, but I'm pretty sure I'll find a sweeper for it or something beforehand. They can't cast any new ones. They can tutor... Sacrifice... They can tutor for new ones, right? They can always get... Yeah, they can always tutor for new ones. Alright, Thoughtseize. I guess, right? I guess. Vesperlark. Go away. Okay, they're doing it again. 1 of 3 random offers. Can you get the same one twice? Are not removed from card set. Change zones. Perpetual effects. Okay. I have absolutely no idea what's going on with this card. I don't keep up with new sets or anything like that. I usually bump into them as a surprise, which I kind of like to do. Whenever you draw a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library. Okay. Whenever you draw a card, exile the top 2 cards of your... Shuki. They found another Bastion, which is really, really annoying. Still have time. I'm not dead immediately, but I'm dead faster than I would have been. A sweeper doesn't immediately kill me, which is nice. Oh, that's annoying. It means I can't sweep now, because Luris will slowly get everything back. I don't have rest in peace. And I drew the... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'll kill 6 creatures, not Luris, because they'll Selfless Savior it. Give it indestructible. I'll take 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll take 6 from this. Go down to 3. I see no reason. Well, maybe there is a reason. Because I'm going to take an ample amount from this Fiend Artisan over and over regardless. I don't know if the time spent of them rebuilding with Luris is any different than me just blowing up the board. It stops Fiend Artisan from doing things. I think I'll get more time if I just don't blow up the board. I also get to see what's going on here. Target creature perpetually gets -1, -2. Okay. Apparently there's a new set for me to look at. That would explain the massive update that took like an entire day of not being able to play the game. They drew 4 Blood Artists and 3 Bastions in the top half of their deck. Can't really beat that. Can still find Binding of Ixalan, I guess. Oh, we would have died to this sweeper? Yeah, we would have died because Combat, yeah, Cruel Celebrant and the Bastion would have killed us. We would have lost 12 life, not just 3 or 6. Yeah, we would have died. Good thing I didn't cast it then, huh? That's hilarious. Yep, this is another 4, but that's still not lethal. Yeah, you can do it again. Not lethal. I wouldn't even waste it. Just pass. There's no reason to do it right now. If I have a sweeper... If I have a way to, like, answer Bastion and blow up the board in the same turn cycle, you just put yourself in a negative position because now Luris is not indestructible. Alright, they won. That sucks. There goes the streak. I had a massive streak. Alright, so we lost 2 games. We're like 2-10 or something. Or 10-2. I don't know which one comes first. I think the winning comes first. So 10-2. Let's see if we can get to gold. Perpetual. So it just always has -1, -2, no matter where it is, like graveyard, exile, hand. It just... Because conventional Magic does not allow you to do that. You can't keep things as... Like, there's no way to keep track of that. Unless you just kept the perpetual card under your card that got perpetualized. I don't know, that's weird. That's really weird. That seems like some Hearthstone stuff. Especially his -2 was a random. It's a... You don't see a lot of cards that say the word random in it. So that's interesting. I guess it's a Hearthstone set. I don't know. Mardu. Alright, so it's Mardu similar stuff. Guess I'll take this. It has 33 arena-only cards. Oh. Okay. Oh no. Alright, fortunately we have time here, and we're not under serious pressure. This is different than the last deck. Maybe that means there's not as many ways to drain me once I get the combo in play. Need a land, though. Okay, this looks like pretty much the same deck. Wait, leaves the battlefield... What? Okay. Okay. So... we have hit our roadblock. How do we deal with that? Another rest in peace? Grafdigger's Cage? So they can just loop that and because it's perpetual, it always brings itself back. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's this set called? I don't even... who cares? So this keeps it on itself forever, so Vesperlark always can reanimate itself? That seems really ridiculous. Well, you know I'm going to try it eventually. Target creature's base power perpetually becomes 0. Oh wow, that's great. I love that. That's an instant? Wow, that's basically a removal spell. A 2-mana removal spell in white. Shoot. Alright, I'll look into this. I'll look into that deck for next time. That's kind of cool. I don't think I like this new combo, though. That's kind of annoying. It demands even more graveyard hate, but I guess I'll just keep going. I can't expect to bump into it constantly. I also don't know if it's necessarily a bad matchup. As long as I can... like, now that I know about it, I can more wisely discard the right things, and... I don't know. I'm not super scared yet. Blue-red. Okay, I'll take it. It didn't loop like this, yeah. Alright, I'm not gonna shock myself, but it looks like they have something castable. I don't know if it's a counterspell, so be it. I'm not gonna play around like a sensor or something. It looks like it was castable on their turn, so I don't know. Are they reading it? What's going on? Mystical Dispute? Okay, so it's a Shark Typhoon. So this is maybe the Niv-Mizzet deck, where they just spam Niv-Mizzet Curiosity and draw their whole deck and kill you, or whatever. We can avoid that with the combo, which is nice. Alright, it's probably the combo, because they're aggressively cycling. It's Jeskai, though. It's not just blue-red. It's Jeskai. That's interesting. Alright, so I guess I want to get going as fast as possible, so I'll play this, get 9 lives. Have some time here. Doomscar does not Cleansing Nova, so we can keep our enchantments. They do not have any white in play. They can't play any white mana if they want to play this turn 6, which is kind of odd. Or at least I should say planes. They don't want to play any planes. Alright, so I drew a second Solemnity, so I'm going to just cast it. Because if it gets hit by a counter, we'll obviously prefer that. It did not. Okay. Opponent had something castable and didn't cast it. Don't really know what that means. I think it's a targetable spell because they didn't seem to be able to cast it until I put a permanent in play. So Brazen Borrower, maybe? I don't know. If they go Brazen Borrower, they said good game. What? Do you not have like... okay. Are they just upset that their deck didn't win? No, they put something on top, so the game's not over. Oh, good. What did they scry on top? I don't know if they're upset or like taunting me that they just win. They played a white source. Huh. And it wasn't a dual land. I guess I'll Runed Halo naming Niv Mizzet so they can't target me anymore, and they'll either have to target Niv Mizzet or themselves, which means they can't draw like infinite cards. Excuse me. I guess. I don't know. Ionize. Alright. Well, I'm definitely gonna name Niv Mizzet with Runed Halo. It's another avenue to not die. Jumpstart limited 2000. Oh, you're doing the Jumpstart limited? I have 3,500 gold, which is funny. I ran out of packs to like buy. Niv Mizzet Parun. So now it has to target itself or their own face. We're winning in cards. Well, Niv Mizzet, it's pretty much impossible to not deck out first. The white scares me. I don't know what it could be other than Doomscar. If they have Curiosity, it will literally kill itself before it matters. So they have to like keep it under wraps, otherwise they'll they'll kill Niv Mizzet, and they probably don't want to take too much damage. They just have to draw like 4 cards or less a turn or something. From what I've seen, it seems like Niv Mizzet's the only thing they can do to win the game, because otherwise trying to protect it with Wrath of God with on the Ionize or whatever, or Ionize on the Wrath of God, is kind of interesting. Alright, let's see if this gets countered. I'd say there's a fair chance it will. This pretty much boils down to, do they have another way to win the game? Because I don't think I can resolve anything meaningful. They have so many counterspells. Okay, Dovin's Veto is another of the white cards, which is good to know about, because that means one less serious threat. You can get up to 2 Jumpstart rares. Do you have to, like, win, though? Because I don't want to win. I just want to play Magic. Alright, the longer this goes on, the more likely our opponent emoted us because they're upset that they can't win, and it's not that they think they automatically have it in the bag. Is that even true, actually? I guess it goes both ways. Don't you dare Cleansing Nova. I swear to God. Okay. Alright, so they have Infinite Sharks. Gideon's Intervention. Alright, so big turn. They probably don't have a mana to counter this. What do I name? I could name something that I'm scared of automatically losing to. I don't think they have Cleansing Nova. I don't think... Oh, no, they have the Treasure Token. So they do have another blue source. I'm not going to name Brazen Borrower regardless. I'm not going to name Approach, obviously. I guess I'll name Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. They are white, and it's one of the few cards I'm scared of. So I'll just name it. At this point, I don't even know if I'm scared of Brazen Borrower. They keep shocking themselves for quite a bit of mana. So, a bunch of counter spells. Hey, well, I guess that's decent. Yep, don't care. You can draw as many cards as you want. That is fine. Archmage's Charm, okay. That's fine. Yep. Alright, so now that they can make sharks, they won't, like, restrict themselves to the amount of spells they can cast, because they can just always ping the sharks. They're still in this game, though. But earlier they scryed something on top, and it obviously did not turn the tides of winning the game. So I don't know what you scry for that, unless it just wins the game, is any relevant. Like, they scryed something at the top right now. I can't imagine what it is. Yep. Every time we cast a spell, they get closer to decking out, too, which is funny. We're pretty much just scrying for discard spells. Oh, so Gideon of the Trials. So they'll basically never lose while they have a Gideon in play. I didn't name Gideon, obviously. So I have to figure out a way to Binding of Ixalan it, or resolve like a Dawn of Hope. Interesting. We can get to a point where they only have 7 cards left. We might want to wait till that point so they can't amass counterspells in their hand, and they only have like up to 7, quote unquote, right? Which means literally never cast this until I... Alright, I mean, we're in it. We're in it. We're in it. Oh boy. You know, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. I mean, it could get the Binding of Ixalan, right? It also could potentially bait out a counterspell if I hold it. We just want to bait out as many counterspells as possible for the turn cycle in which they only have 7 cards left in hand, and all of them are their last remaining like relevant things to do. And the closer they get to decking out to their final 7 cards, the more time we have and the more spells we have. So I don't think it's right for our opponent to ever just constantly cycle cards. It also means if they have future Gideons, if I somehow deal with this one in particular, it means that's... Their final 7 would have to hold on to a Gideon, which is 1 less counterspell. So they have Ionize, Mystical Dispute. We don't care about this one. Just Ionize and Dovin's Veto. Oh, and Archmage's Charm. Okay. So it's safe to assume they have 7. 7 left that they'll hold on to till the end. I wonder if Rest in Peace was relevant. I guess I'm glad I have it rather than not have it. I think it's going to be a lot of downtime this game. Got like another, I wouldn't say 30 turns because our opponent's drawing a lot of cards, but maybe we do. I don't know. Alright. So now we chill. Another white card of theirs was Lightning Helix. I think Niv Mizzet's probably their only creature in the whole deck. This is an interesting deck. I wonder if I should be playing a Gideon at some point. In this matchup, it would be useless because it just dies to the Sharks. And in the mirror, I'm already pretty... I usually win the mirror because I can, like, Necromentia approach the second sun and our opponents can't win. But I don't bump into the mirror that much. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Gideon just isn't good enough. Alright, this is good. Every time our opponent draws a card, we get closer to the end of the game. This also shows me what they get, in our set in particular. I don't know if there's anything to be gained by that. Okay, opt, good. Just keep digging, opponent. Keep digging. Yes. We can still win. Alright, so now there was the third scenario as why our opponent was emoting us was because they have this, which means they can't lose the game, and the only way this game ends is if I deck out. So they're probably like, oh great, here comes like a 20-minute matchup. That's funny. Okay, yep. So no Teferis, if that was a thing. Alright, we got another Scryland. I kind of need a lot of mana to do both, though, but... Alright, this is totally useless. Pass a turn. The first 9 lives doesn't do it. Another one won't. You can't even get rid of the first one or you lose the game. If it leaves the battlefield, you just lose. Unless you have Gideon in play, apparently. Alright, opponent finally scries things to the bottom. Alright, activate that Narset. I know you want to. If they have Commit to Memory, which there's a pretty decent chance they do, because Niv Mizzet, that's a lot of pings. It also, I think, is an additional card. Oh, no, it's not, because you draw the card first and then you shuffle it away, so no, it's not. Commit to Memory would get rid of a Solemnity, but it wouldn't get rid of 2. Oh, another opt. Good, good. Yes, yes, draw, yes, draw. Yes, yes. Can they plus on their own Niv Mizzet so it just stops hurting itself? Yeah, they could. They could plus on their own Niv Mizzet. Ooh. Alright, that's one of the must counter spells for the end of the game, so I will keep that one. Because I could basically, like, 2 for 1 their final hand. Go away. Now I'm curious if our opponent's aware of this, or they are actually digging for something. But they didn't opt on their turn to dig for something immediately, so I assume there's nothing left that we have to really be concerned about. I'm also running out of things to talk about this game. I think I've boiled it down to its most basic form. They will end on 7 cards that are probably the most relevant cards in their deck. They cannot draw any more cards. They have no access to their graveyard. From there, we try to get out as many counterspells and stuff out of their hand before we go for Binding of Ixalan to take Gideon, and then they lose immediately. And other than that, I don't think anything matters. The more cards they draw, the better it is for us. They have 18 cards left. They've drawn like 3.5 cards on average a turn or something crazy. Who's texting me? No, I'll just read it after. I'm not gonna take my face away from this intense matchup. They put a card on top. Put a card on top. going to scry now. So I don't have to hold priority every 5 seconds. I'd say a land is good because it starts to let us get closer to scrying 1 twice a turn cycle. But I don't know how relevant that is. Draw a card, you may discard a card. So the top doesn't matter. The -2 actually doesn't matter. The -6. Where did he cast a spell? Okay, so none of these abilities matter. We just hope they -2 to get closer to decking. If they have Narset, I think it's safe to say they probably have Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, and they just can't cast it. They haven't discarded one, have they? What did they just discard? A Shark Typhoon? Okay, they haven't discarded a Teferi yet. But if they have no way to stop the Gideon's intervention, then I don't see a reason to keep Gideon... Teferi in hand. Okay, so they did -2 Narset. Another kind of interesting thing to note is our opponent's never really been on exactly 7 counterspells yet. They seem to always have a card that's just like castable every turn cycle to draw cards and stuff. So maybe they gum up their hand and they have to discard counterspells, and they don't want to do that, right? But that doesn't mean they'll just start draw going eventually. Just haven't seen it yet. I think I'm going to keep that. I guess Narset incentivizes them to use the mana, but they basically have Omniscience at this point anyways. Interestingly, no Faithless Looting from their deck. Interesting. I think that's pretty good with Niv Mizzet. I think if you're playing red, you should have at least like 2 Faithless Lootings in your deck in Historic, because it always lets you get rid of cards that are otherwise totally dead. But again, that means you're playing a red deck that isn't just completely aggressive. There's not a lot of that. I guess there's like a blue-red deck, but that already plays Faithless Looting. And there's a Jeskai list with it as well. Alright, so our opponent did not counter the 3rd Solemnity. So it's safe to say they don't have an answer to Solemnity at this point, right? Scry 1. Sure. Why not? That can get us a discard spell for when it starts to matter and 14 more cards. The only reason I'm safe with them being at the last 7 cards is because of Rest in Peace. They can't like shuffle their graveyard back in, which means we probably would just lose. I really think they have a Commit to Memory though. But again, the Rest in Peace. Now if they do commit to memory the Rest in Peace, they commit Rest in Peace, they can cast Memory. But it doesn't necessarily change the boat that they're in. We'll go to 1 card, sure, but they're not exactly doing anything with shuffling their graveyard back in from that point onward, which, it's not here. Okay, our opponent has discarded 2 Rest in Pieces of their own. So they have Rest in Peace. So they're less likely, far less likely to have Commit to Memory, if it was relevant, which I don't think it is. Guess it's a matter of which counterspell to name at the end of it. Oh, we want this. I do want that. There's only 2 Masterminds left, right? Is Binding still in my main deck? Yeah, so I have a Binding in the main and a Binding in the sideboard to deal with Gideon. Okay, our opponent, they have in fact -2 again the second time. my actual out. It's just them going down to 7 cards, and then from there I discard and disrupt the hand, so they can't stop Ixalan's Binding from dealing with Gideon, and they deck out. So they just keep drawing. And they go down to 7 cards. And then from there I disrupt those final 7 cards enough to be able to cast Binding of Ixalan through it. And then once I Binding Gideon, I win. I could technically also win with like a Dawn of Hope, making enough tokens, but I'd have to resolve something. The whole point is trying to resolve a spell, so it doesn't really matter what the spell is. Oh, they're reading Gideon's Intervention this time. They did have Brazen Bower. They did have Brazen Bower. And they put it on that, so they do have Teferi. Alright, so now our outs just got way, way lower. Well, they can't minus anything with Teferi, but that pretty much just cuts our time in half, because now they can keep plussing, and then the ultimate names all the solemnities. No, I think it's right to just plus here. I think it's right to plus. I don't see a reason to minus on anything. That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. I gotta stop shuffling cards. It's a bad habit. Yep, just plus. No reason not to plus, just plus. I guess you could say Teferi's a double-edged sword because they'll go to decking faster, and then if I can stop Teferi's ultimate or do things like, let's say they have no cards in their deck, and then I deal with Gideon, they pretty much lose, right? Like Teferi can sit there, but it doesn't matter because they need to draw cards, and they just can't do that if they don't have any cards to draw. They could minus Teferi on himself, I guess. I'm gonna try to do this. I don't think it's gonna resolve, but I think it's a safe attempt. At this point, I kind of have to get things going, because they did have Teferi. And they had Brazen Bar, so I was actually pretty accurate in my assessment of what was going on. They might even just let this resolve. I don't even know what I would name that's super relevant. Because from our opponent's standpoint, they have everything they care about in play already. So opponent agrees. Alright, so I'm probably going to name either Ionize or Dovin's Veto. Probably name Ionize. I assume there's more than one of those. That's a more universal counterspell than Dovin's Veto, even though they probably have a bit of both. I'm going to name Ionize, though. Opponent had no Ionizes in their hand. Alright. This is their library, right? Let's make sure. Yeah, the 7 cards. This is their library. No counterspells except a Mystical Dispute. And their hand has a Negate and an Absorb. Okay. So they just had one Ionize, one Dovin's Veto, one Negate, and one Absorb. That's really weird. That's really weird. Okay. I wonder if they counter Grim Tutor here. It does mean they have to counter this, because this will name the final counterspell. And that would be good for us, right? So if I... Yeah, either way, if they counter it or not, I still get a discard spell. Maybe I just go for the Binding. No, but I need discard spells to get there, right? I have to lead with these discard spells. I have to. I'm going to pass first before I cast it. So they have 2 counter spells now. Negate and Absorb. If I can deal with both of those, I can win. I can discard, and then Binding. Opponent has to be kind of careful with these pluses here. But I guess getting to the ultimates kind of make or break at this point. They keep deciding what to like ping with the Niv. It's kind of funny. It's like I think it doesn't really matter. Just ping whatever. They're always like looking at their sharks, like which one to like poke. There's still an out. You can still win this game. Which is kind of crazy. Yep. At this point, I almost want to take two. Maybe I can bait a counterspell with a Mastermind's Acquisition, because they might think I'll get something like that 6 mana discard your whole hand card, and then our opponent like loses everything or whatever because it's uncounterable, and they might be scared I just grab it. So that might bait a counterspell out. And then from there I could cast Thoughtseize, get the other counterspell, and then maybe win in time. I'm pretty confident in our way to win here. I think we can do this. So I'm going to lead with... If I lead with a discard, they might just counter the discard spell, and then with their last counter spell be very, very reserved with casting it, which I want to be careful about. Another thing about the the Teferi Ultimate, which I did not realize until just now, the Teferi Ultimate is not relevant because you have to draw cards for it to actually exile things. They're going to run out of cards before they can do this. So the Teferi Ultimate is completely dead. Don't care about Teferi. They can plus and keep minusing on my Solemnities, but I still don't think that's relevant. They can keep minusing on Solemnities, but they have no way to counter Solemnity, so I can keep recasting it. So it doesn't really matter. Yep. So I can take Absorb or Negate. I'll probably take the cheaper one, I guess. It doesn't really matter. I doubt they'll just cast a counterspell. It's not super... The difference isn't that big. Alright, so I'm going to take Absorb. No, the Mystical Dispute's not a big deal. I can play around that one. That's fine. And then here I'm going to tutor for Binding from the sideboard, because there's one for us to naturally draw still in the deck. And I guess we still play around Dispute. If they draw it off the Niv Mizzet. But I'm not really factoring in Dispute, because I can just beat Dispute naturally. Okay, so I can go for this, and then our opponent kind of... Why are these in the sideboard? What? Why are these in... Okay, alright, well, whatever, Wizards. I can go for this. They'll like have to counter the second side of it. Or I could go for this. I could even go for this and just have double binding, because I'll get a second one. I don't think it really matters. I'm going to go for the original game plan, which is just trying to stop our opponent from winning the game. Let's see if I can bait a counter spell. I should have played this first before I scryed. How many cards are on the bottom? Is that relevant? 1? No, I'm just going to cast this. Another good thing about doing this is our opponent's going to go to decking already, which means they already have to start discarding. So this also means I'm not going to trick myself up thinking they may or may not have the Mystical Dispute, because they will. Because they'll have their entire deck in their hand. But I find it unlikely they'll counter this, even with the Dispute. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, because I'm going to draw whatever I'm going to find naturally regardless. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so they blew the Dispute. I don't really agree with that. I will also say it probably wasn't relevant, but it could have been. Okay, so Teferi's Ultimate doesn't do anything because I can't draw cards. I don't have to play around Dispute anymore, I guess. And none of the other Planeswalkers do anything. I don't think there was a second Brazen Borrower. I don't think so. Maybe there was? That would feel really awkward, but so be it. They could only cast it once and it only bounces, right? So it doesn't actually stop anything. It's just like a tempo play, but they'll still deck out. Oh, I think we won this game. I think we won this game. Yup, yup. So we go to binding, they negate it, but we get a second binding. Alternatively, I could just get a discard spell with this, and it's kind of the same thing. In fact, I probably just will do that. Because it lets me immediately cast this in the same turn cycle. I'll get a Thoughtseize just to be super careful, I guess, instead of an Inquisition. Play this as a black. Thoughtseize. Yep, drawing doesn't matter. Okay, so at this point, what does our opponent do? Negate. Okay. I'm pretty sure they did not have another binding, and I'm pretty sure they didn't have another Mystical Dispute. I think it's still totally safe to just cast this and name Petty Theft. I'll just name Petty Theft with this. So they can't bounce anything to irritate me. And then from here, I just cast Binding on Gideon, and I win. This is the sideboard binding. There's still one more for me to get here. And there's no way they have double counterspell because I saw their old deck. See, this is what I'm talking about, tripping myself up. Because I should have absolutely kept track of the final 7 in their deck that I didn't know about outside of the Necromentia. I just should have known. I should absolutely know what these 2 cards are. But I'm not going to go back on my stream VOD and look. I'm just going to safely bet that I win the game. Yeah, play that land. Go on. Play this Triumph. No, they don't play the Triumph. I think it's pretty free to play the Triumph, but I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Alright, land, binding. Oh. Did I do it? I think I did it. What's my out? There it is. Oh, I did it. I won that game. I told you. Exactly what would happen happened. They went down to 7 cards. We had to play around those 7 cards. In fact, I made a bit of a misplay because I panicked. When they played Teferi, it was too late for them to ultimate Teferi. So it couldn't draw cards and exile my Solemnities. So it didn't matter. But it made me feel like I had to start doing things, which was wrong. I should have still stuck to the game plan because they would have never been able to exile enough Solemnities with Teferi. They could have minused on our Solemnities, but again, we can just recast them by the time they get another Teferi. It doesn't matter. Oh, that's crazy. That second, yeah, we just had it. Like, we had more than enough ways to deal with it too from the sideboard. So in a control matchup like that, where they don't have a ton of permanent removal spells or like answers to stuff that has resolved, and it's a lot of counter-based stuff, you can just wait till they go down to 7 cards and do something. But a lot of them just play Teferi, But again, in that situation, our opponent played Teferi so late, they couldn't use the ultimate in any relevant meaning. Alright, well, that was it. That was a cool last game. I absolutely destroyed everything I bumped into, except apparently this new perpetual thing, which I'll have to look into more. Other than that, yeah, I mean, shoot, I'm 2 seconds away from gold, and I started in bronze. I'll probably be on again tomorrow around the same time. I don't know if you're on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, please. I have to get that little thing that goes in the corner that tells you, like, boop, boop. Something that does, like, the subscribe logo and you click it. I don't like doing that, but whatever, we'll see. Alright, anyways, thanks for watching. See ya.